Hey you guys, my name is Mara Sullivan and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about not being nice. We're going to be talking about being kind and being respectful, being polite, but not being nice. We're going to talk about being selfish. We're going to be talking about being a straight up bitch, okay? Like we're going to be talking about, the confidence and just the life-changing aspects that come with speaking up for yourself, with being bold, with not people pleasing, with having boundaries, and just not being a doormat, and just not, like I said, being a people pleaser, just being more confident and secure and solid in who you are. This video is one of a few in a little mini series that I'm doing on here called Galentine Wine Time. This video is inspired by Galentine's Day, and it's just like a few videos that I'm doing focused on girlhood, womanhood topics, everything from PMS, the divine feminine, self-care, solo dates, solo travel, um, like today's video being, more assertive and being selfish and, just being more secure in who you are as a woman, as a girl, however you identify, as a female, male, whatever, all are welcome here. But this video I wanted to do because this topic is very near and dear to my heart. As someone who I grew up very shy, I grew up very reserved, and I still am in some aspects. But I've definitely, gained a lot of confidence, and a lot of that has come with, having to do a lot of things on my own. I'm an only child. I was raised by a single mom, and so I had the example set for me of being strong, of being independent, of getting ish done for myself and by myself, and you know um having a backbone, and being able to handle a lot of stuff just on my own. I don't have brothers. My dad wasn't in my life, so I've had to hold my own, for a very long time. I watched my mom hold her own for a very long time. And so with that does come confidence. It comes some toughness, mental toughness and physical toughness. um If you are new here and have not seen any of my videos, my mom actually passed away November 2023, so I am on year 2 of grief. But like I said, I just had such an amazing example of a woman who was just strong and who was confident and who wasn't dependent on people, and who just relied on her intuition and relied on her faith in herself, to get her through. And, you know, it's easier to do things like be confident and have boundaries and be independent and all that stuff when you have the example set for you. And I'm really blessed that I did. Um, but it can be hard, especially no matter like what your background or what your family dynamic is, or how you are as a person. It can be hard to be assertive. It can be hard to be direct. It can be hard to hold your own. It can be hard to stand up for yourself in certain situations and things like that, and to be bold. If it's not something that you're used to, if it's not something that comes naturally to you, because it did not come naturally to me. I'm 26, but this is years of experience. I had to grow up very fast. And so I learned how to do a lot pretty early on. And like I said, that stuff isn't easy, but it is. I've learned a lot of things that I want to share, or that I'm able to now share, through these videos and just with people in my life in general. I think that, a lot of the times this kind of conversation can come off as, having to be, um, it can come off as not being soft and not being able to be elegant and feminine when you are talking about, standing your ground and being bold. A lot of times women feel like you have to be either or, like you have to be the quiet, reserved, hush hush, very much a like just be seen and not heard kind of person. It's like sometimes it seems like you have to be either that or you have to be overly loud and overly, you know, in your face and overly expressive. And you can be both. It is possible to be soft. It is possible to be graceful. It is possible to be elegant and feminine and also be strong and be assertive and be direct and be bold and to, speak up for yourself. You can do that in a way, and I'm speaking to my sisters of color. You can, you know, have a challenging conversation or a heated debate, or you can, hold your own and hold your ground in a way that is respectful and calm. And not all the time, because all the time you need to, sometimes you just, I say all the time. Sometimes I'm from Baltimore City, y'all, so it's gonna come out when it's gonna come out, okay? But it is possible, to be both. You can be emotionally charged, you can be, you know, expressive, you can be, you know, loud even, and um what's the word? Like just bold in how you say things and how you get your point across, while at the same time doing it in a way that is calm, that is not going to elevate an already stressful, heated situation. I think that is really important to remember that sometimes silence does speak louder than um, noise, and I'm not saying, like I said, this is not about being, this is the opposite of being, quiet, of being, you know, someone who does not express your opinions and does not express your feelings and all that stuff. But you can do it in a way where you are more successful at getting your point across. You're more, successful at, people can hear you a lot of times a lot louder when you're not loud, if that makes sense. Like when you are coming from a place, especially if you're talking to someone who is wrong and you're trying to like do something like get your point across in that situation, a lot of times just a look is going to do a lot. Okay, especially if you really are, secure in who you are as a woman. Our eyes, our facial expressions, just us looking at someone the right way or a certain way is going to speak so much louder than any words that we speak. And so you have to remember that, there are so many different ways to express yourself. And um like I said, the whole point of this video, I want to make sure that I'm getting like the point across that like you don't have to be a people pleaser. You don't have to be a doormat. It really helps so much when you don't do those things. You're going to be so much more confident in who you are as a person. You're going to be so much more um, just able to get what you want when you know who you are and when you're not settling and when you are not letting the world define you, but when you are defining yourself. And so if you're someone who does struggle with people pleasing, if you're someone who struggles with saying no, remember that it's so important to put yourself first and give yourself permission to be selfish, because it's not being selfish, it's genuinely taking care of yourself. It is protecting your peace. It is, you know, doing things for yourself that, you know, are for you. Putting yourself first is not selfish. It's the highest form of self care. It's the highest form of taking care of yourself. And so, any guilt that you feel, and I know a lot of women do feel guilty when we put ourselves ahead of other people, it's most of our nature to be caring, to be nurturing, to overgive, to overextend ourselves. And so, it's so important for us to make sure that we're giving ourselves permission to say no, to have boundaries, to not people please, to speak up for ourselves, um, to be able to come off as the mean girl or come off as the biatch if you need to, and just not care about that. Like you have to be so secure and be so confident in who you're in yourself and who you are that you don't care what people think of you, people's opinions, you know, negativity from other people. You're not even worried about what people are going to think of you if you are saying no, if you are standing your ground, if you are holding your own and being direct and being assertive and speaking up for exactly what it is that you want, that shows so much strength. It's not weak to, cave when you feel under pressure. It's not weak to, well, it is weak to cave when you feel under pressure. It's not weak when you um don't do that. Like, it's not weak to do the opposite of that, if that makes sense. It's so important to make sure that, you know, people are going to treat you how you treat yourself. And so once you get to a place where you treat yourself as someone who deserves to be respected, who deserves what it is that you want, exactly what it is that you want, and you're not willing to settle for anything less, who deserves, to be treated the right way or however it is that you want someone to treat you, all of that you have to be doing for yourself first. No one is going to treat you better or treat you as well as you are treating yourself. And so if you aren't that, if you don't know who you are, it's going to be so easy for other people to be able to take advantage of you and be able to, walk over top of you if you don't have that sense of security and confidence and boldness within yourself. Being okay with being intimidating, being okay with people looking at you a certain way because you do speak up for yourself, being okay with, you know, people not liking you all the time because you are doing what's best for you. It's for you, it's not for them. That is the point. So you have to really give yourself permission um, to go against the grain. You have to give yourself permission to, like I said, not be nice all the time or none of the time. My motto is being kind always, always, always. Kind is more of a respect thing. Like when you are kind, you are, you know, not operating in judgment and, you are treating people the way that you want to be treated. But being nice is more of a people pleasing thing. Being nice, at least in my opinion, is doing things, for other people that you don't necessarily want to do, saying yes when you know you mean no. That kind of stuff is nice. And so you don't have to always be nice. Be kind, be gracious, be kind, be genuine, help when you can, um, listen to people and be there for people. All of that is kindness, but there's a huge difference between being kind and being nice. And a lot of people will take advantage of people who are too nice. And, so you really have to make sure, again, that you just know who you are. And also in relationships, I know that, this comes up a lot in relationships and it can be hard. And a lot of women feel like, well, if I'm too much, then he's not going to like me. Strong men always, always, I'm speaking from experience, will always respect strong women. I don't care how, over the top you think you are. I don't care how, expressive you might be. A man who is really secure in himself and who, is confident in himself is not going to be intimidated by a strong, bold, outspoken woman. And in that same vein, a man who is insecure is going to take advantage of insecure, weak people, insecure, weak women. He is going to be intimidated by that. And, if you're not secure in yourself, you're going to allow yourself to be taken advantage of. And, you're going to allow yourself to be put in situations where you are being treated less than, where, you are settling for less than you deserve and things like that. So it's just so important to make sure, again, that you're just giving yourself permission to be good to yourself, to put yourself first, to be selfish. I know that if you do have a family, that's not always possible. Obviously, your children need to be taken care of if you have children. Your husband or spouse needs to be taken care of if they're in the picture. But just remember that you deserve the respect, you deserve the love, you deserve the care that you are giving to other people. And in the workplace as well, at home and in the workplace and everywhere else in your life that you go on a regular basis, you always deserve to, you know, speak up for yourself. You always deserve to say what you want. You always deserve to say what's on your mind and give yourself permission to do that, because a lot of times no one is going to do that for us. A lot of times we have to speak up for ourselves, especially as women and especially Black women, because no one else is going to speak up for us. And that is why Black women get that like stereotype of being, too much or too overly expressive, because a lot of times when we do it, we let it bottle up for a long time. And so when it finally comes out, it's a hot mess a lot of times. And so just make sure that you are, doing things along the way and on a daily basis that are nurturing to you, that are a reflection of, the self love that you are showing yourself, and the self care, and being at peace with yourself, and with your mindset and things like that. Because um, how you treat yourself, again, is going to be how you treat other people. And so, again, no one is going to have your back the way that you have your back. And so make sure that you are not letting anyone walk over top of you. Make sure that you are giving yourself permission to not be nice. Give yourself permission to say no. Give yourself permission to not settle, to move on, to tell that person take a hike, like you bye. Like, don't, just make sure that you're not being like you know scared. It's about confidence. It's about being fearless. It's about um just knowing, like, again, people are going to treat you the way that you treat yourself. And so all of it is always going to come back down to you. People are going, like, people, especially like um weak insecure people, can always sense other weak insecure people, and so they're going to pick up. It's like a dog being able to smell fear. Like, people pick up on that instantly. And so if you're someone who is, you know knows that that's something that you need to work on, now is the time. Do not give yourself any more time of um you know letting people take advantage of you, or putting yourself in situations that you don't need to be in, of saying yes when you mean no, and saying no when you mean yes. If you have things that you want to do that you have been saying no to, but you really want to say yes to, give yourself permission to say yes. I think that one of the beautiful things, there's a lot wrong with the world today, but one of the beautiful things about where we are in this place and time is that a lot of people are just able to be themselves. And if you don't like it, that's your problem. That's not my problem. And so it's like, you have to be unapologetic about who it is that you are, and just be firm in who it is that you are. I do have a podcast, and I just did a whole episode on being unapologetically yourself. You can go check that out. But that comes with being unbothered as well. Just genuinely not caring what people think, doing what you want to do for yourself, you know, not doing things for external validation, taking people out of it, taking, any form of praise or just validation out of whatever it is that you're doing. Just reevaluate, the things that you're doing in your life in every area, from work to relationships, friendships, family dynamics, like working out and exercising, your health and what you're eating and all that stuff. Every area of your life, make sure that you are doing for you. Because if you're not, it's going to create resentment, down the road, if people are not praising you, or if you're not getting the external validation that you wanted from doing certain things. Every single thing that you're doing has to be for you, and so just make sure that the way that you're living is intentional for the person who you want to be, and it's for yourself. That is being selfish, and that's not a bad thing. It's just knowing what you want. And so just make sure that you are being very intentional about the decisions and the things that you do on a regular basis, and your habits and your routines, and even like your work and your you know the people you allow in your life, and your time management, and where you're spending your time, and just every little thing always adds up to the big picture of your life. And so it's so important to remember to do what you want to do, and remember that your self-worth comes from yourself, not from the external world. If you are someone who is seeking validation from the outside world, you got to do the work to give yourself, you know, that inner confidence, that inner validation, so that you're not doing anything for other people. So that every single thing that you do is for yourself. The decisions that you make, the people you allow in your life, the people you help, the things that you say yes to, the things you say no to, all the decisions are based on your values and your beliefs and who you are as a person, and you're being unapologetic about it. And again, you're just not caring what people think. I hope that you guys got something from this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Go subscribe to the channel. Check out the other videos in this Galentine Wine Time series. Today we had cranberry and sparkling water. You guys know I've been alternating between cranberry and sparkling water and cranberry and tequila because I don't drink wine. Wine actually makes me very sick. So I needed cranberry for the vibes and I needed the wine glass for the vibes. But I hope that you guys got a takeaway from this video. If you have any thoughts, any opinions, any tips, tricks, hacks on just being selfish, and if you have any stories about, being a recovering people pleaser, please share those things down below. Anything that has helped you to, stay true to your boundaries and stay true to, the decisions that you make and be more confident, please leave those down below. Again, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you guys in my next one. Bye.